Hello everyone, this is for all of you watching this right now. I know a lot is going on in our lives, be it NEET PG, counseling or residency. So I would like to request you all to sit back for the next couple of minutes as you watch this and keep taking deep breaths and drink some water. We are in this together and this shall pass. Since I posted my first short as why I left Obgyn Gynae at IMS BHU, I have been getting a lot of DMs to post a detailed video, and the most asked question is it toxic out there, and like, did I leave because of the toxicity? In that context, I'm here to share my experience after working there for 5 days. So I got admitted after the first counseling itself, and I was asked to report after 19th. And after the reporting formalities, it was announced that the official duty starts from 23rd of December. But like on 19th December evening itself, I was added in a WhatsApp group, a so-called JR1 JR2 group, where I was asked to come to duty on that is 19th evening itself. Until that point of time, I was not even allotted hostel. So when I said in the group that I have not been allotted hostel and I need to search for accommodation, they were like, ask your parents to do that and you come to duty, we are least bothered about that. This is one instance where I really felt bad about their behavior. So for the next 3 days, we worked for about 12 to 14 hours, and the JR2s threatened us to not come in front of the eyes of their seniors, that is the JR3s and the SRs, and if we did so, there will be no cooperation from their side during our whole residency. This was another thing which I found was really unprofessional. Now let me talk about the day when we were asked to join officially, that is 23rd December. As other days, we went to the ward at 6 a.m., did our work by around 10:30, and then we went to the other departments for getting our medical fitness certificate, which was needed during the time of official joining. But as soon as we left the ward, there were again messages in the JR1 JR2 group that what's the need to get the medical fitness certificate on that day? Like, they did their medical fitness certificate thing after a month, so there's no use doing that now. But the administration people, they asked us to get it done before we join officially in the department. Anyway, we had to listen to the administration, so we went and we got our medical fitness certificate done, and all of us, we went individually, and I went, it was to join officially, it was around 4 p.m. that I joined, and I got the roster that I have night, that is from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. for the next 1 week. And when I left the department, it was already 5 p.m. that day. And then after I went to my room, I got a message that I need to come to the ward, that is, so I took rest for an hour and I went there at around 6:15. After the night's work, it was morning again. Here I won't talk about the hour or minutes I got to rest or sit, because it's gynae department, that's no point talking about I couldn't sleep the whole night and everything. But the next morning, when it was already 9:30 a.m., I was asked to take a patient for ultrasonography and take the patient with me and then collect the reports and give it to them. Then I went to the radiology department with the patient, and at that point of time I felt like, God, I should have taken radiology, because no one was there in the department. I called a GR1, and then he came, he did good enough. He took the patient to the table, and the other GR1 also came. Like, they did the ultrasonography, like it took about an hour, and then the senior came and he cross-checked. I collected the report, I took the patient and went to the ward back. After that, when I took the patient to the ward, I asked one JR2 if I can leave, but then they were like, no, you cannot ask us if you can leave, we'll say when you can leave or not. If we feel like you have some work yet. It was already 10:30 then. Then we'll then she said that if we feel like we have any work yet, then we'll ask you to do, or else we'll ask you, and then we'll ask you to leave, and then you can leave. But you cannot ask us if you can leave at that point of time. Another instance where I felt really like overwhelming and everything. Finally, I went to my room at around 11. I took a shower after 4 days. I was like, okay. So it was around 2:33 a.m. on 24th night. We are two JRs in one night. One stays in labor room, another in OT and ICU. Like she's both OT and ICU. On that night, I was posted in OT and ICU, and my co-JR, she was posted in labor room. At around 2:33 a.m., I see the WhatsApp group. There was message like the JR1, she's putting her head down. How can she like take a nap like that in front of her seniors? I was like, really? When it's already 2:33 and there are no patients, no work to do, is it not humanly to take a nap? Not nap, like put her head down on the table. That was really inhuman behavior. We couldn't say anything because we are German, of course. After that, in the morning, we were doing again our usual work, like taking vitals, sampling, and everything. This is what we did, like sampling, vitals, and monitoring all these things. Then it was around 10 a.m. in the morning, and then again I was asked to get ultrasonography of a patient. Again, I took the patient to the radiology department. That day, there were people already because it was 10 a.m. I got the ultrasonography done. I clicked a photo of the report. I sent it in the group. And then while I was like asking the patient to go to the ward, I got a call. I got a call from a GR2 asking me to do some work in the gynae ward, and I said that I just did my allotted work, which was given by my night senior. I couldn't even complete the sentence. She was like yelling at me and telling that just come back from wherever you are, do the work. I was like, no, I did not even leave the hospital. I am here only. I will do the work. I couldn't even speak. She was yelling and saying that, what, you are refusing? You won't do the work. I was like, I will do the work. I did not refuse. Then she was like, okay, then go and do it and report me after it's done. Then I went to the gynae ward. I did the work. It was already 11 then. At that point of time, I felt really bad. Like after clearing NEET PG and everything, after doing all the work responsibly, this is what you get to listen. Even they don't have time to listen to what you say. After I did the work, I reported to her. I went to my room, and that at that point of time I was really broken, and I didn't have my lunch that day. My father called me, and I literally broke into tears, and then I couldn't take it. Like that was a real emotional turmoil at that point of time for me. Anyway, again in the evening I had to go at around 6:30, but I wasn't feeling good. I kind of had AG because of the food out there. So I texted in the JR1 JR2 group that I wasn't feeling good and I won't be able to come. And they started like asking me if I asked permission of the HOD, and so I texted in the JR1 JR2 group that I won't be able to come. But then they wouldn't listen. Like every time they were like, did you take permission of HOD? Started saying that they don't get leave at any occasion, like even if they have broken their leg or someone in their family has expired, they don't get any kind of leave. At that point of time I was like, they're saying like a member of their family has expired and then they don't get leave. What is this? Like I went there. It's almost 1200 kilometers away from my home. If during an emergency I don't get a leave, why am I supposed to work there? These all things, like listening to all these things, I couldn't make it that night. I didn't go to duty, and the next morning I just gave the resignation letter in the department in IMS office, and I just resigned. This was my experience working there for 5 days, and all the instances where I highlighted
At
and
this
said
point of
that I
time, I'm going
felt
to say
bad.
that those people, they might not be bad in person, but the workload, the frustration might have led them to behave that way. But today, if they don't change themselves and stop treating their juniors the way they got treated, this vicious cycle of toxicity will never end, and it will go on.
Let me know in the comments what you think about it.